These are the lowest float skins in the entire game of Counter-Strike. The floats on these skins are crazy, some of which have over 10 zeros. Now make sure you don't skip anything, as I do have something very special to show you later in the video. Now we're starting off with the Army Sheen SG553. This is currently the 10th lowest float in the entire world, with a float of 0.00000007, which is an absolutely crazy float. This skin was actually a level up reward. It was not found in a crate, which if you ask me, that's pretty sick. Now next up, we have the Tech9 Icecap. This is actually a nicer looking skin if you ask me, that I'd happily use in game. This skin's been sold a good amount of times, with it having 6 different owners over the past 3-4 years. It was last sold 122 days ago, and the current owner seems to be a Chinese collector with a respectable $30,000 plus inventory, so I do not see him selling anytime soon. We also mention him a couple more times later in the video. Next up, we have the Black Sand of a float of 0.00000005. This was found in a case only 122 days ago and was sold 22 days ago. The current owner has applied 4x Katos 2019 NIP hollows, which I think is a great choice that suits it really well. Now at number 7, we have the Candy Apple Nova. This skin was also a level up reward, which is nuts. Now this has 2 Spartan stickers on it that both have 100% wear, which is a pretty cool touch that suits it quite well. This skin's also never been sold or traded, so I think the owner of this is not planning on selling anytime soon. He also has a very respectable inventory. Next up, we have the USPS Flashback from the Danger Zone collection. This bad boy has 3 Katos 2015 NIP hollows, as well as a Cologne 2016 NIP hollow. This skin's float is very close to the previous, with both of them having 8 zeros then a 3. This skin was unboxed from a case around 615 days ago now, and has only had 4 total sales in its life. Next up, we have the Glock 18 High Beam. Now this skin's had some questionable history in the CSGO float scene. It's been the number 2 lowest float skin in the past. When it was the number 1 and number 2 lowest float, collectors would buy it for a costly price, as it's the lowest float in the world and they wanted to add it to their collection, but it would only go and get beaten in float, making their skin no longer hold the title for the lowest float. Let me show you a quick clip of Onapixel.
There's a new number 2 lowest float skin in the game. What? Hey, that's insane, buddy. Holy sh**. It's a good skin as well, yeah? Bro, I was about to buy the number 1 Glock. Don't I own the number 1 High Beam? Not anymore, you don't. Stop, bro! Did I actually have it? I feel like I bought something like this, didn't I? There's no way. Bro, it's number 2 now. Booty, you told me it was safe. Why always me? Booty has so many number 1s and they never get beaten. And when I have a single number 1, bro, it gets beaten by like 10 zeros. The new number 1 lowest float item in the world. Right after I buy mine. What the f? Ah, it must be here. Man, no. 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 Number 1. How do I lose on every single thing?
Now, you can admit that would be very frustrating and you gotta feel a bit sorry for him. Next up, we have the Midnight Palm. This skin's owned by the same Chinese collector that owns the previous Glock 18 as well as the Tech9 Icecap. It's clear to see this guy really loves his floats and it's unlikely to see him sell anything soon. This skin has 4 Cologne 2014 DAT hollows, which I personally think suits it really well. Let me know down below what you guys think of this craft. Now, next up, this item, if you ask me, is very special. It's the number 1 lowest float Stattrack skin in the world. And the one and only Sparkles was actually the one who pulled this for the world of CSGO. Thank you, Sparkles, for that.
You see what Sparkles opened? Yes. Chat. What did Sparkles unbox? Sparkles, April 19th, yesterday, may have just unboxed the number 1 lowest float Stattrack in the game. Chat. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how crazy that is? Skin starter base. These are all the skins. Chat. There's a total of 990 million skins that have been unboxed, dropped, gotten from trade-ups. 990 million. And Sparkles unboxed the 2nd lowest float one out of those 990 million. Can you imagine? Sparkles, the YouTuber. That is so absolutely insane. That is literally 1 in a billion, you could say. Wow. The lowest float Stattrack skin. New lowest float Stattrack skin.
However, it was sold around 50 days ago to a very respectable collector. This bad boy also has the new Apex Holo from Paris, which I think is an amazing touch that suits it really well. This skin has a ridiculous float of 0.000000001. Considering a normal factory new is around 0.06 in float, that means this skin's around 60 million times lower in float than a normal factory new skin. That's just uncomprehendable. Now, I would say this next one is technically the lowest float skin in the world, but we do have a special item after this that does technically have a lower float. We'll get to that in a minute. But for now, we have the Gator Mesh M249. This skin has a whopping float of 0.000000008. This skin has held the title for the lowest float skin for nearly 1,600 days. That's nearly 4.5 years. And to be honest, I don't see it getting beaten anytime soon, as it's basically impossible to beat. Maybe in the future someone like Sparkles or someone big might try to attempt it, but it will take some doing and it will be extremely hard, let alone how much it will cost to get a skin that low of a float. I don't think it would be worth it. Now, like I said, we have a very special item I want to talk about. This is a one-of-a-kind Karambit Vanilla. This skin literally has a float of 0. Like, every digit is 0. Like 0.0000000. Now, if you also inspect this item, it's not quite a normal Karambit. Can you see why? It doesn't have the star. This is the no star Karambit, the only Karambit in the world with no star. This skin is really something special. It really should not exist. Let me show you a quick clip.
The top ranking for the lowest float skins in the world. The M249 Gator Mesh as the number 2. What's the number 1? The Karambit Vanilla. Float of 0.000. Float of 0. Does it look like a normal Karambit? I don't think so. What knife is that? The no star Karambit. Why do I say no star? Is this a normal Karambit Vanilla? No, it's not. This skin should not exist. I checked for all Karambit Vanillas in the world. The usual Karambit Vanilla is float capped at 0.06. You can usually not get a float below the float cap. That's why the number 2, you could say, has a float of 0.0601. Not even close to the 0 float. You see this Karambit right here, right? I inspect the number 1 lowest float, the 0 float Karambit, and boom, not a star. This Karambit has been created by the Steam support. A Karambit Vanilla got scammed, and then Steam support credited a no-star Karambit, right? This is the person you can backtrack the knife to. He sold it though. This knife is nowadays in HFB's inventory. This post, the last breadcrumb of this knife being up for sale, have Karambit with a white display box. He wanted around 3,000 bucks for it. Nowadays, some collector friends and I priced it at around $35,000 to $45,000. But in today's market, like, you have no clue where it could go, you know? $3,000 for a knife. Good luck though. People had no fucking clue back in the day. There are a large number of these. It's not rare.
Now, like I said, this skin is really special and it's not supposed to exist. However, it does, and I'm kind of glad it does. Plus, it has a really cool story behind it. Now, if you've watched this far, you're going to want to watch this next one where I show you the best Paris crafts in CS2 and CSGO. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.